And welcome back, everyone. Welcome to another season of World Team League. This is, of course, the season of summer of 2023, and I am your host, Light VIP, and with me is the one, the only, the well-groomed. I haven't seen your face in years, Papi. The Asher.
Well-groomed? What are you on about? I haven't shaved in years.
Well, it's great. It's great to be back once again. You know, we went through a week of qualifiers. It was intense. It was very long. It went late into the evening, but now here we are in Code.
Yeah, exactly. And this is where the competition is really going to start spicing up here. And we've got a pretty interesting first little match lined up. It's going to be Platinum Heroes against Basilisk. And Basilisk, it seems like Raynor might be unavailable today because they are sending in, as Serral put it, the A team.
Oh,
They're sending in Dad. They're sending in Roddy.
The A team, not the S team, but the A team. Let's go.
Uncle Roddy.
Oh my god, yes, RotterdaM is the caster for Team Basilisk, but he is also going to be playing for them. This does typically mean that I guess something came up with Raynor. He isn't available for whatever reason. And because of that, I was looking at the lineups. Platinum Heroes, they're still the favorite. Team Basilisk. They're still the favorites here, but Platinum Heroes, they have a chance. They do have a chance.
Yeah, I mean, if we want to be brutal with it and assume Goblin 2-0s and then Serral 2-0s, then it comes down to the Trigger match, basically.
Pretty much, you know, like Trigger versus DNS is going to be crazy when we do get there. Of course, it's going to be Goblin versus RotterdaM, then HateMe versus Serral, and then Trigger versus DNS. And it's a PvP, so even though I think we would both say that Trigger is still favored overall, like DNS could still make some magic happen.
Oh, yeah, and I'm a bit scared for Serral and his EVZ, but anyway, here we go. We're starting it off. It's going to be the Croatian Protoss in the blue for the Platinum Heroes Goblin.
Oh, and in the top left for Team Basilisk, Roddy.
Take your time, Observer. You gotta get us in the mood.
Yeah, he in and out like in 5 seconds.
Yeah, it's so transactional. I feel used.
I don't think anyone was satisfied. I don't think even the Observer was satisfied. Like,
wham bam, thank you, ma'am.
It was like, ha! It was over. It was over. Oh. I didn't even feel it.
We're starting off like that, are we?
As we are getting into this PvP, and I'll be honest, especially because RotterdaM, he does stream quite a lot. There's a lot of information out on him. He typically does stream at more European hours. So as someone from Australia, I haven't seen too much. I know the memes. I know the Roddy build. I know what he likes. But yeah.
You say you haven't seen too much Roddy?
I haven't.
I watch Roddy all the time. I watch most of his streams because he starts his streams at like 2 a.m. and they go like into the night. So that's basically what I have on when I'm like getting into bed and I'm starting to get tired.
There you go.
I'm staying up for the next 2 hours.
You're such a fucking degen. You're like, you start off, man, it's perfect. He starts the streams
it is.
Yeah, man. It's
yeah, he starts the streams like right when I finish playing and when I'm like winding down for the night.
Oh my god. So then I have to divert to you. You know, does he have any tendencies in PvP? Does he have any go-to builds here? What is the mind of Roddy like?
I mean, most of the PvPs I've seen of him, he plays relatively standard, to be honest. I'm pretty sure he doesn't like to play one gate expand at all. I'm sure Goblin will know that as well. Goblin, very good player with one gate expand, but I don't think this is really the map for it either.
Yeah, definitely. You know, the entrance to the natural is wide open here in Gresvan as, oh my god, Roddy goes for a 2-gate opener, follows it up with a Stargate, follows that up with a Robo.
Yeah, okay. I do remember he does do a Phoenix Immortal all in.
Oh. Well, that's what we're seeing here, a Phoenix Immortal all in. It's going to be on Goblin to try and figure out what's going on. Is this known enough for a player like Goblin to recognize what's going on with limited information? That's going to be the question.
I feel like Goblin's got to know Roddy's builds inside and out, surely.
Yeah, he has to. You know, they were. Goblin was Roddy's boy for a long time.
Oh.
Oh my god, asleep at the wheel though. Two adepts do get into the main.
Yeah, nice force field going to be minimizing the damage, but no, actually pulling the gas workers off, a little bit of a misclick, I think, and that means they're going to be losing 4 workers already, so pretty wonderful start there.
Yeah,
Already.
really good start. But at the same time, Roddy didn't have a way to, or didn't have anything to deny this scout. So the probe waddles into the main base, and we get a full scout of the main. Now Goblin is fully aware of the opener and how delayed Roddy's natural is.
Yeah, for sure. So Roddy, despite that damage, he still does need to get a little bit more damage done with whatever comes next. I mean, for Goblin, he has just gone for a very safe 3 sentry opener, so he will be able to get that constant scouting going. It just comes down to whether he's going to be able to find the right response to this, and you know, whether Roddy is going to fully commit as well. I know Roddy is a very, I would say he's a bit of a by feel player. He's been playing all RTSs for a very long time. He has a lot of experience, and he plays his own kind of styles of builds. So he kind of has his own way of going about things. And I'm sure he has a lot of decision trees based on, you know, whether he's scouted or not, whether they're playing certain techs. I'm sure this is all mapped out somehow or another.
Exactly. So Roddy, he knows that he got scouted. He knows that Goblin should be preparing for him. So as you were saying, we'll see if he commits. He's still going to make those immortals, of course, because his Twilight Council is so delayed, or it's non-existent. So that's kind of what he has to rely on to defend against any kind of ground-based pushes. He also does have an observer in the natural as well. So some nice vision provided here to RotterdaM. And yeah, we'll see when he cuts workers, and we'll see when he does end up moving out across the map, if at all.
Yeah, the way these Phoenix fan out, very aesthetic. Just getting full scouting of everything that's going on, poking this way and that way, making sure that there's nothing sneaky coming out on the map, any pros kind of ducking out here or there. And I guess he was hoping to find the hallucination as well, but he's unfortunately not able to do that.
Yeah, as a result, Goblin was able to get that hallucinated scout across the map as well, just to get eyes on the saturation of the third. Of the natural. We do see Goblin trying to take a third as well, but he is going to be denied for the time being. A second probe goes out on. Just donating a little bit here to those Phoenixes.
Yeah, those Phoenix are going to be stopping any map vision from coming out there. They're very oppressive, of course, and behind this, we do see Goblin. He is just, I like the way that he's spreading out his stalkers as well, just making sure that these can't get into the main at all, but oh, he doesn't know about this observer that's sitting over his natural here, and
that's a TVP observer. That's you don't see it too often in PvP, I'll be honest. But as a result, Roddy, he sees everything. He sees all the army movement. He also spots the probe as it moves out to take the third. So Goblin is going to be taking a more macro approach to this defense. Meanwhile, RotterdaM is still on 2 bases, still just pumping out immortals.
yeah, and those 3 immortals just got scouted there by the hallucination. So, I mean, Goblin knows exactly what's going on here.
Yeah, and now here we go. Roddy is moving out across the map. I believe he's working on his 4th immortal as we speak. There's a proxy gateway across the map to reinforce. And Goblin, I'm a little bit concerned because I don't think he has... I could be mistaken. I don't think he has any shield batteries that is natural.
I should have 1.
One, yeah.
He's got 1 there.
There we go. 2 more are being thrown down at the third. Is this too late? We'll see, because Roddy is he's coming in.
Yeah, dips back on in, getting a little bit more probe damage. He's gotten a lot of probe damage with these Phoenix. It is, you know, kind of his signature unit here, so not surprising to see him controlling that very well. Still a little bit behind in workers just because of how hard he is committing to this army. But, I mean, this is all just to set up this attack. And here we go. I think the attack should be coming in just about now.
Yeah, and this is going to hit like a truck. Goblin does have sentries. He does have force fields, but this area is so wide open. I don't know how useful force fields are really going to be here.
To be fair, that's a lot of stalkers, and we have an Archon here as well as a couple cannons. So I really don't feel like that third is very attackable. Maybe if we could wedge ourselves in between the army and get in on the natural, but it's pretty scary to commit that hard as well.
Yeah, he's thinking about it, and bear in mind, we have a lot of Phoenixes as well, so there may be a lot of stalkers, but they can be CC'd as, oh, he goes for the sentries.
Yeah, there we go. Takes out those 2 sentries, so nicely done there. He's going to back off, doesn't want to engage into that Archon, especially under the 2 shield batteries and the cannons.
Exactly. We have a second Archon on the way. 2 more shield batteries as well. So the longer this goes on, the stronger Goblin's army is going to be. And here we go. Roddy, he goes in once again.
Yeah, he's going to dip in. Nice micro to pull those Phoenix back so they don't take too much splash from the Archon. But that Archon in general, very scary with the Phoenix. Could do a hell of a lot of splash damage to those as they bunch up so easily.
Maybe a little bit premature, but the overcharge has been popped, and here we go. Roddy's pushing on forward. He does still have a massive supply lead, bear that in mind. There are still so many mortals in this army, and I feel like he may have enough to push through. He's trying to go for it.
Yeah, he's doing this very cautiously, just trying to pick off units one by one, trying to pick off these shield batteries as well. I mean, there's a lot of shield batteries to work through, but if he can take out quite a few of them... Oh, he's putting a lot of damage down on this Archon. These Immortals just do huge DPS, actually getting through that shield battery healing.
Yeah, exactly. One shield battery goes down. The second one's being focused out as well. The Immortals are trying to do what they can. The Phoenixes come in, and they CC half of the Stalkers.
Yeah, we have a massive commitment. The Stalkers are being CC'd. That means the Immortals getting on top of the Archons. The Archons are melting from the firepower of the Immortals, but quite a lot of these Immortals have gone down.
Yeah, but you know what? There's still 2 Immortals remaining. We do have a Warp in defensively. Ooh. We have another Overcharge.
Yeah, the Overcharge kicks in once again. It is going to be a tie one very close between these two players. That Archon is putting in work.
It really is, but 31 boys were pulled and 31 boys went down. We do have a bit of a misrally here from RotterdaM. One Immortal is going to go down for free, but the economy of Goblin has been crushed.
Yeah, that is painful, and Roddy just continues to apply the pressure. Is going to be adding on Phoenix, adding on a few extra warp-ins when he does get the time. Looks like he has gotten pretty even trades so far. I think he would be hoping for possibly slightly better than that, but I mean, there's only one Archon left here.
Yeah, there's only one Archon, and the shield batteries are out of energy. Roddy, I think he's doing it. He's breaking on through. The Stalkers are going down once again. The boys are being pulled, but RotterdaM, he may just have... He has enough.
Yeah, can he take out this Archon? I think it's going to be important to focus the Archon. Archon goes down. The Phoenix taking out the last few Stalkers. We do have one more shield battery overcharge, but without the power of this Archon, things are getting a little bit scary here. I mean, do we have more energy on this Phoenix? Looks like we're just about out, so equal numbers of Stalkers probably wants to pull back from that fight for now, and we do see he's resuming probing.
Yeah, exactly. The economy of RotterdaM is booming as Goblin barely has any workers left. I think he had to pull the boys from his third and his natural. He doesn't really have too many workers left. Yeah, as a result, like, Goblin can barely hold on. He can barely warp in.
Yeah, 58 workers have gone down, and now we're 19 workers to 40. Seems like Goblin is running out of steam here, and the veteran, Uncle Roddy, I think he's showing Goblin a thing or two here, reminding him, you know, who's boss around here.
Reminding him he used to be boss.
Yeah.
So, yeah, RotterdaM with this 2-base all-in, I feel like it wasn't respected enough. I was really concerned when we saw Goblin taking that 3rd base and saturating it the way that he did. And now RotterdaM is just powering on forward. He takes down the shield battery. He's going to be able to take down the natural as well. And Goblin, sure, he has Blink. Oh, he's actually going for a counterattack at the same time.
Yeah, beautiful counterattack here, but there's just way too many Stalkers, and I don't think he can outproduce them. There we go, the Phoenix, they haven't regained their energy, so that's just more free Stalkers getting picked off here, and he's got enough money to warp in back at home. It's not quite going to clean it up, but it's going to be a good start.
Yeah, and Roddy, he sees an opening. He goes all the way into the main base, is going to be able to depower the production, and Goblin just can't really do anything about it. He's just stuck, locked out of his own main, going to try and push up this ramp, but up a ramp into Stalkers, into Phoenixes, is just not going to happen.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's going to be 4 Stalkers against everything that Roddy has back over the other side of the map, and that is not a fair fight here. It seems like Roddy has just about done it here.
Yeah, he's taking control of the main base. Every single boy is being pulled right now for Goblin. But, oh god, there's just such a vast amount of Stalkers and Phoenixes remaining here for RotterdaM. It looks like Goblin's going to be able to take a decent trade, but again, he's losing every worker.
Yeah, and I mean, look at the CC here. Look how many Stalkers are getting locked down by the Phoenix. And they do have more lifts, so these Stalkers of Roddy, despite having quite a lot less, I think he should be able to win this fight.
Yeah, I mean, Goblin has Blink and he has +1, so overall Goblin's army is just more efficient. He will be able to clean this up, but again, there are 0 probes. Actually 0 workers left for Goblin.
Yeah, and he doesn't have enough money to make one.
Oh no, Smooch puppy, 0 workers, can't afford anything. We are going across the map. We have six Stalkers for Goblin. That is all he has to his name, is rushing across the map to try to end things. But oh my god, RotterdaM, he's got money.
Man, imagine not having mules.
True. Oh my god, Goblin is going to push out across that, but GG gets caught. And RotterdaM puts a point on the board for Team Basilisk.
Okay. Wow. That was not exactly what I was expecting, but man, Roddy more than doing his job here, and that's just going to take a lot of pressure off Serral and Trigger.
It really is, and now the pressure is really on Platinum Heroes, because if they were to take this series, it was reliant on Goblin to 2-0. But here in this game, despite the fact that Goblin had a lot of scouting, he had a lot of scouting information, he saw the Immortals, he saw the opener as well, it did feel like maybe he didn't respect Roddy enough there with his 2-base all-in. Yeah, maybe because, you know, it's a weird 2-base all-in. It's akin to Roddy. He's like, nah, I'll be fine. You know what? He's a caster. What's he gonna do? Oh, but he's a 6K caster. Oh.
Yeah, I mean, that's a tough one. That's one of those things where I'm pretty sure it's only really Roddy that does this kind of build. So even if you do scout it, you're still going to have to work out a response on the fly. And sometimes you're just not really sure about these little details. I mean, I think it makes sense to try to hold the third just because you need that advantage. If you hold it the natural, I mean, it's possible he just contains you and gets his own third. But I mean, at the same time, it's a bit of a weird one for sure.
Yeah, I'm thinking back on that game, and I have to wonder. I guess going for the Archons is the right call, because I mean they can't get lifted up, and they do provide a lot of support, especially against those Stalkers. But at the same time, yeah, I don't know. It's a weird one. It's a weird one going up against Phoenix Immortal like that.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, Roddy controlled it extremely well. Like, the way that he was dancing in and out of the shield battery range, picking off a couple of Stalkers here and there with the Phoenix when they strayed a little bit too far from those batteries, and then just poking those Immortals to start taking down the batteries one by one. I think that was really well done. And it's clear that he's got a lot of practice with this build, and he's still got it. Still got it, old Roddy.
Yeah, 100%, mate. 100%. You know, it's definitely something that you gotta respect. And RotterdaM, you know, he puts that point on the board for a good reason. He did execute it quite well. But now we're getting into game number 2. This is going to be Goblin's map pick, and he has decided to put it all on Dragon Scales.
Yeah, there we go. So we are going to be going for a ramp map. It's a map that, as well, is a lot more defensible on your first, on your natural, but then it really opens up after that natural base. So it's going to give him a lot of options once the game goes to that 3-base stage. If, of course, Roddy does let it get there.
That's a big if. That's a big if, man. This is where I got to divert my attention to you, Asher, because you're talking about, you know, you tune in to some late night Roddy streams, and apparently this Phoenix the Immortal build is something that he does. It's very akin to Roddy. So you got something else up his sleeve for PvP. Does he still go for Proxy Stargate? Is that something he still whips out?
I don't know. I feel like you might see him just go for a maybe a more standard build into some early DT play or something like that. I mean, the Phoenix, of course, are the go-to, but here he is in the top left-hand corner for Basilisk. This is Roddy. Oh, we missed Goblin. Sorry.
That's so good. In the bottom right, we also have Goblin for Platinum Heroes as well. A rocky start here, but he can definitely redeem himself, and we all definitely do look at Goblin as the favorite. You know, for a long time he was supported by RotterdaM. He was the star player on Team Roddy. I know Roddy would just sing his praises time and time again. It's like his son, you know, it's his boy. But I don't know what happened to their relationship after he left.
The Rio.
Let's go.
Oh,
we're sponsored by Rio de Janeiro?
Yes.
Let's go, Poppy. I mean, shout out to all the sponsors here as well. I have some bad news on it's a little bit smudge here. We noticed it at the start of the broadcast, but for all the fans of Hojo out there, and I'm a big one, I don't see the Hojo logo, so it's possible that they won't be sponsoring this season.
Yeah, I guess not, but already underway, we do have a bit of a difference between the two players' builds. Goblin has managed to get down his Nexus extremely early, and I mean, Roddy's going for a 1-gate expand as well, but you might want to change things up after that's gone down.
Yeah, definitely. You were talking about this before, that Roddy typically doesn't he doesn't really prefer to go for 1 gate expands. Like, he isn't really set up for it. He may just pull a Hearthstone. But for the time being, Goblin is going to have a bit of an economic advantage. Roddy is going to be delaying his expansion, and he's going for a faster Stargate instead.
Yeah, okay. It's going to be going for a much, much faster Stargate than any of the tech Goblin's going to have. So I wouldn't mind seeing an Oracle maybe come out as the first unit here.
Yeah, it would make plenty of sense, as Goblin across the map is going to be delaying and denying the natural Roddy even longer, as we do have a pylon block there. So it is going to be forcing unit out, is going to be slowing things down. But I believe the probe of Goblin, I think it may have snuck into the main base to scout. I can't quite. No, I don't think it. I don't think so. Didn't make it in.
Yeah, it looks like it was taken up by the Stalker, but it is, yep, of course, going to be the Phoenix first coming out for Roddy here.
Yeah, it's his, he has to. For the people, for the memes, we do have the Phoenix on the way, of course. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see when he does reveal this. So you were talking about it earlier as, oh, never mind. The Adept does shade into the main base and we get a full scout of the main.
Yeah, we get the scout. We see the Phoenix as well. That is going to be, guaranteeing the kill on the Adept at least. Actually, I don't know how this works. Okay,
yeah.
it works like that.
All right, there you go. That's a Fear Dragon useful fact there. That's crazy. So the Adept is able to get out of there alive. Does confirm that a natural base was thrown down, so now he knows it isn't the same kind of 1 base commitment that we saw in game number 1. That there isn't going to be like a faster robo or anything like that.
I feel like when the Adept jumps like that, it should teleport but still be in the air and then fall to its death.
What if it teleports, but it also brings the Phoenix with it?
Wait, what?
Just cause.
Just becomes flying as well.
Let's go. As the Adept also once again makes it in, and we have confirmation that we have continued Phoenix production. A very heavy commitment here into those Phoenixes, by the way. So Goblin is fully aware of that, and he's going to be responding with a more Blink Stalker based army.
Yeah, there we go. Nice scouting coming out from Goblin, and is once again going to be committing pretty heavily into Stalkers and getting that Blink on the way as well. So I definitely like going for Blink again. It's a good way to have a kind of guaranteed advantage if the game does continue to go on. And we're going to be seeing Roddy go for a Twilight Council himself.
Interesting. I'm curious if he's going to be going for his own Blink or if he's going to go for something like Charge instead. Oh, it is. Charge is on the way. So Charge Lot Phoenix. 2 units that I feel like complement each other quite well here in the PvP.
Yeah, 100%. Pick them up, slap them down. Definitely makes a lot of sense. You can kind of open up pathways for yourself, take out key units as well if in case there's any immortals or anything like that. So definitely a good choice here for Rodius. We do see Goblin once again going to be going into that 3rd Nexus, going to be getting the upgrades on the way as well. So definitely looking to be the defender in this situation.
Yeah, as soon as Goblin saw that there was a 4th Phoenix on the way, he threw down that 3rd. He knew that there wasn't really a way for his 3rd to be punished either because it was a big commitment into Phoenixes and they can't really do anything to buildings. So yeah, very nice reaction from Goblin. Going to be able to have an economic lead and should have enough Stalkers to at least protect his bases for the time being, as he did go up to that 4 gateway count and he is looking to upgrade them, is working on those forge upgrades.
Yeah, there we go. The Phoenix going to be charging in once again. That signature unit of Roddy getting a good amount of damage. 4 probes going down. And I got to say, that is something that's very satisfying to watch about Roddy's stream. I mean, Phoenix is such a cool unit. I've always really liked him. And he has such a good hand with them as well. I mean, he's just incredibly quick with picking up a whole bunch of different things. And I'm always very impressed. I can't click that good.
Yeah, it's always why, like, when there are certain stylistic players, when it comes to their specific style, they're better than even players that are generally considered stronger than them. So it's really cool to see Roddy just flourishing with his Phoenixes. On top of that, he's even working on +1 air attack as well. So it goes to show that, hey, if you thought he was going to stop Phoenix production, nah, mate, he's going to double down.
Man, this is his thing that he bangs on about as a caster, so I'd be pretty disappointed in him if he didn't do it himself.
True. So he is again committed to his own meme in a way, as Roddy is finally getting his own 3rd base up and running, as Goblin is saturating his own. We should be seeing a 4th soon, as Proxy Pylon does get spotted.
Yeah, nice scout by Goblin there. Very heads up play to be checking for that. As we do see +1 air going to be finishing up around now. We have a few extra gateways on the way as well. And I mean, Goblin's looking pretty well entrenched here. Zealots can be pretty scary on this map just because it's so open around that third. As yeah, we do see him dipping into that main once again. 5 more probes. The Phoenix tax continues.
Yeah, and even though Goblin with a faster third base should have a better economy right now, he doesn't really. Like, he's only up 6 workers. Roddy has been doing a great job at harassing and making up for his later third for his hindered economy.
I mean, to be fair as well, as much as it looks really good, the Phoenix picking up so many probes, I think when you make this many Phoenix, you probably need to get that kind of damage as well.
Yeah.
But Roddy here is getting into a bigger charge lock count, getting a lot of those Phoenix. So I think we can start to think about going for an attack here. I mean, there's no blink on the way. There's no ground upgrades either. So the longer this goes on, the more of a disadvantage it's going to become for him.
100%. I'm sure he's waiting for an opening. His proxy gateway, of course, is going to be scattered, but maybe waiting for Goblin to try and expand and take a 4th base. It is being taken on the right-hand side. I don't believe Roddy has spotted it yet, as he's looking to clean up that Stalker as he's here across the map with his Zealots.
Yeah, I was going to say that would be a great bait to use for Goblin, but I guess he sees that there's a million Zealots just sitting here waiting for him.
Yeah, exactly. Roddy has to be careful not to overcommit here to the natural. He's going to try and lift up the Stalker, but the wall is a wall behind it.
Yeah, wall is a wall. We see the cannons as well. Beautiful force field is going to be trapping all of the Stalkers in with the overcharged shield battery. That's so beautifully done by Goblin, but Roddy is trying to clear the path for those Zealots with the Phoenix here.
Yeah, he's trying to lift up. He does get every single sentry, but the overcharge is putting in a lot of work. Stalkers are also coming in from behind. The Zealots are making their way through, but the SimCity from Goblin is pretty damn good.
Yeah, and he can just keep on blinking back further into this setup. So this attack for Roddy really hasn't worked out too well so far. But, I mean, with the second wave of Zealots, this can start to get a little bit scary. Roddy is going to pull back and retreat, losing a few of those Zealots here as well, as Goblin does smell blood, pushes forward, and that +2 still looming on the horizon.
Yeah, like, I'm not really too convinced with the choice of attack here from Roddy. Like, the defensive position was really good. You know, he was Goblin was quite entrenched at that third. Again, I don't think Roddy has seen the 4th. I don't think he knows where Goblin has expanded and where he was maybe a little bit more vulnerable.
Yeah, it's definitely right. But meanwhile, we do see Goblin going to be going into Archons now, so the time for these Zealots to get anything done here is quickly running out.
Yeah, exactly. Goblin, his army is just getting more and more powerful. Would you see a little bit of Adept Harass here? Doesn't quite get a lot of kills. Nice reactions out of Roddy to be able to preserve his workers. At the same time, his Phoenixes did get eyes on the 4th base, and now he's fully aware that he is behind a base.
Yeah, he just put that one out, and there we go. We do see the Dark Strike going to be started up here. Getting his own Observer as well, maybe considering going for a little bit of an Observer Snipe or something like that. But yeah, it does feel like Roddy, he's pretty far behind in this with +2 upgrades finished up for Goblin, and it's going to be a hard difference for them to overcome. And actually, Goblin's starting out the DT Shrine as well.
Yeah, DTs are on the way for both players. Roddy tries to harass the 4th, but Goblin this time is in position. He denies it. RotterdaM going for a Robotics Bay. This is a good way to come back. I say this, both of them really. We talk about it all the time. How do you come back in a PvP? DTs or Disruptors or both?
Yeah. I mean, Disruptors, they don't really care about upgrades either. So definitely a good way to minimize the difference that they're going to have there, because 3-0 Stalkers against, 0-0 Zealots, it's not going to be pretty.
That was the other big thing that I was kind of scratching my head at when it came to RotterdaM's timing, is I have to wonder if it was wise to go for +1 air attack instead of +1 melee or +1 regular attack for those Zealots. It was a very interesting choice. As a result, as the game does progress on longer, as you pointed out, the ground army is still going to be 0-0, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. But there we go. +1 does now start.
Yeah, we finally have +1 on the way. Not even really lining up with the +3 of Goblin, but I mean, Roddy's doing what he can. He's got that 4th Nexus on the way. Still has a lot of these Phoenix there as he picked off. That wasn't a Colossus, was it?
Mate, we have Colossus production instead of Disruptors.
Oh, yeah, okay, cool. I mean, that's not going to do very well against Archons. It's a cool idea.
It's cool. It's cool, you know. He's pulling a Skillus right now. Skillus famously in PvP does go Colossus here, but that's when he's up against like Zealot or Charger Archon or Zealot Stalker. We'll see how Roddy does with these Colossi as the DTs have arrived and they are fanned out in between all the bases.
Yeah, this is a killer move. DT in each base, and here comes the army battering down the door, and this just takes so much more attention to deal with than it does to do, and that just makes it so complicated to defend.
Yeah, as the Phoenixes are pulled out of position, the Robos are exposed and they're going to be going down. We're only going to have 2 Colossi to work with. Roddy going to try and engage with his army, but the Zealots are getting massacred by this 3-0 Archons. Oh.
Yeah, Army of Zealots running headlong into 6 Archons, not pretty. GG is called, and Goblin gets one back on the board. We are 1-1.
GG, well played there by Goblin. Very solid performance to be able to weather the storm of the Zealots and the Phoenixes. Brody, to be fair, was doing a great job harassing, right? He was doing such a great job at kind of keeping up with the economy and just picking up workers after workers. But alas, it all kind of climaxed in that big attack at the third base, and that really needs to do a little bit more damage.
Yeah, and I mean, to be fair as well, 1-1. I mean, Roddy's done his job.
Yeah. 100%. I think there's a lot of, myself included, there were a lot of doubters that he would be able to pull it off. But with that, he does it for his team. And now we're going to be handing off here to a couple of other players for Team Basilisk and for Platinum Heroes.
Yeah, we're going to be getting into the Zerg, so you know, it's all right. It's okay. It's fine.
Oh, your enthusiasm is overwhelming, Papi. Oh my god.
Yeah.
What do you mean we're casting Serral, Papi? Let's go, mate.
I mean, it's basically a IEM grand final right here. Serral versus a Zerg.
Hey, what universe do you live in? You're talking about a TVT, Papi. That's the typical finals now, Papi.
That month is over. The month of dominance is over.
I hope so. Oh my god. But yes, we're getting into a ZVZ, and this is going to be an interesting one because HateMe, I don't know if you remember him, but we have played against him as the Ducklings before in some team league matches, and HateMe can be a very aggressive player.
Yeah, he's really good. He's really, really good. He plays a very solid style. The one thing that does concern me a little bit going up against Serral is he does kind of play by the book sometimes. I mean, he's a teacher, of course. It's in his nature. Teacher by trade. But I have definitely noticed that he does play a very kind of like correct by the book style. I have some concerns that some of the stuff that he's going to be doing is going to be a bit predictable for Serral. I mean, not being predictable to Serral is a pretty big ask. Yeah. He's seen pretty much everything that there is, but I mean, I think HateMe, he's had a lot of time to prepare, and he should be able to, you know, pull something sneaky out.
Oh yeah. Like as much as, you know, maybe has tendencies for some more standard play, I don't expect that at all from him this series. I still always remember HateMe versus like Eric, or HateMe versus I think even Ryu as well, some of our Zerg players, where he would just 12-11.
Oh, okay.
I think I remember him doing that on oh god, what map was it? It was the small one last season with the pocket base.
Moondance?
Moondance, yeah. On Moondance, yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, interesting. I mean, he plays so standard in TBC, but ZBT, but yeah, I guess that is common as well in Europe to go for 13-12s, 12-11s, things like that. I would be terrified to do something like that versus Serral, just because he's so solid defensively. He's just a very hard player to trick, and his responses are so well rehearsed that I think anything that's common like that might be a little bit difficult to pull off. Yeah, we'll have to see what he has prepared here.
Yeah, we'll have to see. We're all gonna buckle on in. Again, Serral is a clear favorite, and we haven't really been able to talk too much about it, but Team Basilisk, of course, has been around for a while, but this season they have put together a team that they're doing more than just sponsoring one player. They've put together an insane roster of Raynor, Serral, and Trigger. And as a result, they kind of made the qualifiers of WTL crazy. There's a lot of these quote-unquote new teams that have like these beefed up rosters, and the qualifiers in Code A like have some top-tier players.
Yeah, I don't believe Basilisk dropped a map in the lead up to Code A.
It's possible.
Let me have a little. I'm gonna have a little look.
Yeah. Let's have a little bit of a gander here at Team Basilisk and their run. Yeah.
They didn't drop a map.
I mean, Raynor, Serral, and Trigger. I mean, that is a banger of a team, mate. That's like the DPG equivalent of the foreign scene. You know, like no Koreans or anyone from Asia here, just Europe and NA, like the best of the best.
Yeah, true, absolutely. I mean, yeah. So unfortunately, Roddy's going to be the first map that they drop. But
I mean, let's go. Oh my god. Meanwhile, we missed it, but I want to give a shout out to Chileno Singaporean in the chat. Gracias, papi, gracias. As he does resubscribe for 26 months. That's a lot of months. That's over 2 years. Thank you, papi. Thank you.
Let's go. Love to see it.
Oh. Aye. And Kura even linked us a screenshot from RotterdaM's chat as well. Trigger spying on them. Oh my god. But yeah. Apparently Goblin's saying that that he would go easy on him.
Yeah. Bullying the elderly, not something I stand for.
The bants, Poppy, the bants. Oh my god. You love to see it. But yeah, we'll see kind of how this turns out as well. I'm a little bit concerned usually when we have like a delayed look at this matchup for a while. It means that maybe one of the players isn't there. So we're here. Let's go.
Oh, and the bottom right hand corner, it is the Austrian Zerg in the blue for Platinum Heroes. It is HateMe.
Top left hand corner, we have representing Team Basilisk, Serral.
I think they just like to make us sweat. I'm used to it.
They like it, Puffy. They like it. Yeah. All that time that you once spent on the intros, nah, it's all in the lead up. It's all in the lead up.
We're paying the observer by the minute.
Oh my god. So yeah, pretty interesting openers here. We have Serral, the one to go for a pool first. He is afraid he's gonna get cheesed out.
Yeah, Serral playing it safe, and HateMe's going to be going for a hatch first. So looks like HateMe kind of doing his research here and taking advantage of the fact that he will, of course, have this image of wanting to be a bit more aggressive against a player like Serral, and it's a good little vote of confidence in his own column that he's going to be going for hatch first instead.
Exactly. So on the one hand, HateMe, great job for not falling for the baits. You know, against Serral clearly expecting a pool first or a much more aggressive opener from his opponents. And as a result, HateMe is going to be in a nice position early on, has a nice economic advantage. But Serral will have access to some lings, and he will be able to make up for it here if he does end up making any. But no, he's actually just making a queen and droning for the most part.
Yeah, for the most part. We'll have that slightly earlier queen as well. But yeah, looks like he's not going to be looking to get too much pressure done with this. As HateMe throws down a very early Evo chamber. Okay, looks like we might be having an all-in after all.
Yeah, I'm getting some flashback. I'm getting triggered. I remember Eric dying to this. I was so smudged because Eric was trying to go like 2-base roach and he didn't get to wall off in time, and Lings just flooded and killed him. Yeah, but yes, there it is. +1 melee. HateMe is going to be going for a link flood. It's going to be very important for him to deny the scout to make sure that these 2 links from Serral don't get into his main.
Yeah, so HateMe is going to be going for something nasty, something a little bit more cheesy. Hardly blame him going up in a ZBZ against Serral.
The drones.
Okay, we have a couple of drones hold position on the ramp to make sure there's no scouting. So yeah, being very careful to cover everything here.
Yeah, unfortunately, he has very limited map information, so he doesn't know where the lings are. He just knows that there are lings somewhere on the map. So this is going to eat into his economy a little bit, of course. It is going to be a little bit inefficient for him, but, you know, the upside is he just wants to make sure that Serral doesn't get the scout off, and he doesn't want to rely too much on his own reaction time.
Yeah, exactly. There we go. The Lings are going to be
Oh,
popping
no!
in. The drones have a
No!
left. So are we
Oh!
going to be able to get that scout? The drone is pulled off to put a little bit of damage, but Serral, he does scout out.
Oh!
I was going to call it the Evo chamber. That's the one.
That's so smudge. It's so smudge for HateMe to have those drones pulled for so long, and then at a certain time, at a certain moment, he's like, you know what? I probably don't need these here anymore. You know, like why did I put them here? I'm so silly. And as soon as he pulls them out, Serral pulls in. Yeah.
Mate, he knows. But yeah, looks like HateMe actually going to be, transitioning out of this. Goes for +1 range, which is definitely very curious here. Throws down a third hatch as well.
I'm just trying to process what we are seeing. As you said, he's getting +1 melee and +1 range at the same time, so he is transitioning out of this. He assumes that Serral is going to be preparing, and he wants to try and divert his attention elsewhere. We're getting our third. We're getting into roaches instead. HateMe is going to make a wave of lings, but I don't think he's going to commit.
Yeah, I think he was faking +1 range at the front, and then he just decided to go for it anyway, possibly.
Yeah. I mean, HateMe is still making lings, but he's also droning at the same time. So it looks like he's gonna have enough lings to maybe apply a little bit of pressure and force a reaction out of Serral. But yeah, he's still gonna be, I think, committing into the roaches. We'll see.
Yeah, it looks like it is Serral. He's going to be looking to put a little bit of pressure here on that third base. Looks like it should be more than enough from HateMe to deal with this, especially with that +1 melee.
Exactly. So he's safe to. Oh my God! No, I was gonna say he's safe to avoid the bailings, but he does take a massive bane connection to the face.
Mate, he tricked us all.
Oh my
Yeah,
God!
Serral putting a lot of pressure on. He's going to be surrounding completely all of the queens. Good focus fire coming out from HateMe, taking out all of the banelings, but it might not matter. 3 queens go down, and this was just masterfully done by Serral.
It really was. A third base is under threat as well. And sure, roaches are coming up, but Serral doesn't give a damn. He's got his own roaches on the way. The third will get targeted down.
Wow, so clean. Just gets an insane amount of work done with those lings. And behind that, has his own third up and running, taking those extra gases as well. Going to be going into lair behind this.
Oh, yeah, there is that lair on the way. I mean, HateMe's already got his own. He's going to be committing into roach speed. But after losing those 3 queens especially, I don't think he really has too many to spare. He has to, again, that's going to be eating into his production, into his overall injects as well. And Serral just has a very, very nice lead.
Yeah, he certainly does. We do see the lair going to be finishing up soon there. So we're going to be able to see what his tech of choice will be here.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, HateMe's committing into the roaches, of course, and working on +2 range. He has opted not to throw down a Spire, which would have been an option available to him. Meanwhile, Serral is still committing to Roach Ravager as well, and I mean, he doesn't have to really do anything too fancy. He just has a better economy.
Yeah, everything pointing towards Serral going for that 2-1 timing with the Roach Ravager has roach speed on the way as well, and it looks like for now just trying to get as much scouting as he can and keep himself safe with that pretty huge advantage that he bought for himself with that ling attack.
Yeah, that's the other dangerous thing about ZVZ is that if Serral was droning blindly, and if HateMe wasn't droning, then HateMe could still pull off a 2-base all-in. So Serral just being a little bit conservative, just trying to scout as best he can and making sure that he is safe to drone before really committing to that, before really feeling safe to do so.
Yeah, pretty much just dipping his toes in droning here, just being very careful about how he wants to do this. And he's going to be adding on that oversteer scout as well. So should be able to see the lair, sees that upgrades are on the way as well for HateMe. Yeah, just going to be taking that front base as well with that rich gas. So just extending his lead further and further. And I mean, this is what the top players that are more defensive do. They just kind of take away that window where you could have won the game bit by bit.
Exactly, and here we go. Serral now with 63 workers. He should be working on nothing but roaches. He is going to be hitting that very crisp timing with 2-1. We even see him investing a little bit further here. Investing further. He's getting Burrow and Tunneling Claws.
Yeah, this is funny. He is human after all. He does have kind of favorite builds, and this is something that I see him go for very regularly in ZBT.
Exactly, as opposed to popular opinion, Serral does have emotions, he does have feelings, and sometimes he even smiles. It's crazy, and I'm sure he's going to be smiling once he does finish up these upgrades, once he does get across the map. HateMe at the moment doesn't really have too much room to invest into detection, and unfortunately, I don't believe he's been able to rescout that area of the map. He's coming in with an overseer now, and he should be tipped off once he does see the Roach Warren researching, if he does check the Roach Warren.
Yeah, I've seen Serral has been streaming a lot more lately, and he's been doing a bit more of the popping off and stuff. Getting all excited. It's very cute.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Shout out to Serral. Shout out to Serral. Let's see. He has been a little bit more active. Serral and Rainer. I think Trigger as well. All the Basilisk boys. All of them.
Yeah, I think Trigger already did stream quite a lot, but yeah, Serral streaming a little bit more, and yeah, Rainer too, although streaming League of Legends most of the time, so
Smirch.
Take that as you will.
And here we go. We are now maxed out. We have our 2-1 upgrades for both players, to be fair, but Serral has +2 armor behind this as well. Going to be looking to try and crack at this position. But HateMe, he's already here. Ooh. He's already ready for him.
Yeah, HateMe's actually got a lot here. I mean, these two armies look roughly equivalent, so I'm going to be totally honest with you. I have no idea what this comes down to.
I feel like it's going to come down to the tunneling core roaches. Like, if at a certain point, yeah, if Serral feels like he cannot break this position, he's going to back off. He's going to, like, borrow a couple of roaches and maybe just try and pull apart his opponent. Yeah,
okay. So you see HateMe just going to be sending a few roaches around the backside, maybe a little bit of a misrally there, but he's going to be able to continue to put an eye on this. And, oh, I love this as well. Going to be splitting off another group of roaches to the side. So I think we can go for a massive surround here. Oh, it's not well timed, though, unfortunately.
Oh, but it does create an opening, and here we go. HateMe's going to be forcing Serral all the way back. He's going to take some biles to the face, but he does force Serral to his own side of the map.
Yeah, that's very cute as well. Serral immediately breaks down those rocks to create a bit more of a choke going up into that ramp. That was very quick thinking coming out from Serral.
Very nicely done. And Serral, with his lead, he doesn't just have Burrow. He has a Spire. You can see +1 range on the way there. So after this engagement, he can replace his roaches with meteors, and that's exactly what he's doing.
Yeah, looks like Serral trying to snipe down some of those ravages. And yeah, he doesn't mind trading out these armies here. He's got something pretty nice in the works on the way, and 10 meters already fired up there.
Yeah, Serral, he wants these roaches to die. Again, as soon as a roach dies, another muta pops out. Another muta, and another muta. And he's just going mass muta behind this. HateMe has no idea.
I suppose the other thing as well with the way that Serral's doing this is he is forcing HateMe to just keep producing units. I mean, HateMe's on a pretty low drone count. It's actually only on 53 drones right now.
Yeah, exactly. And HateMe is maxed out. He doesn't have a hydrogen. He doesn't have any kind of anti-air. And here we go. The mutas are about to reveal themselves. Serral is backing off with his roach army. And GG gets called.
GG. Serral just in control of that one from start to finish.
Oh, yeah, exactly. We saw that, of course, HateMe was able to keep up with the overall roach count, but because Serral had such an economic advantage, he could do whatever he wanted, and he was able to invest in his tech, and that Spire, that muta switch, is the nail in the coffin. Quite often here in ZVZ, if the Spire goes unscouted, then they can just straight up end the game.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, Serral was doing everything that he could just to kind of force HateMe down a certain line where HateMe just had to make all those roaches just to survive. And with that, Serral going to be taking his first game and going to be HateMe's map pick for the next game as well.
Yeah, and I wonder what his map pick is going to be here. I still remember the last time I called a map in a build, and it was Ancient Cistern, the 12 pool.
Yeah, the 12 pool. Was that Mio though?
No. That was a Taiwanese Zerg player. I said that Mio does it, and I wouldn't be opposed to. I think it was really Kuma to do it.
Yeah.
Likewise, I wouldn't be opposed to doing that in a PvP here as well. To be honest, sorry, the ZVZ here as well.
Okay. Ancient Cistern and 12 pool.
It would be amazing. It would be amazing. But
yeah, it
yeah,
could be. I mean, if HateMe did have anything in particular prepared, he does have his map pick here, so he should be able to, pull out some nasty strategies. Maybe he's got his own version of the Dolan Stargazers build, a special build just for one particular map.
True. I mean, hey, we saw a little bit of it here on Near Humanity. Again, he wanted to go for the Link Flood. He was dedicating so much to make sure that there was no scout. We saw the whole position drones. We saw him try to hide it. Didn't work out in game 1. Was scouted. But here, game 2, it's not going to be Ancient Sister, and it is instead going to be Babylon.
Okay, so Babylon being picked out as game number 2. I'm trying to think of what this map kind of affords you as for CBZ. I guess it's probably a little bit easier to defend, although I would say that about Near Humanity as well. I feel like these maps probably play out quite similarly in ZBZ.
They really do. They really do. The only thing that I can think of is that it does feel as if there are some more. You have a little bit more access on this map. You have a couple more attack paths that you can go for, and maybe even try and hide as well. So, yeah. I am really curious if he's going to go for an earlier pool timing. But I imagine, especially after game 1, I'm pretty sure that Serral is just going to open up pool first anyway. Just to be safe.
Yeah, I mean, if he thought it was a good decision in the first game and HateMe ended up going hatch first, I think it's only going to be an even better decision in the second game because he hasn't done it yet, basically.
Exactly, and we saw that Serral is more than capable of overcoming that disadvantage of delaying your natural and having less workers than your opponent technically, by still being able to macro out of that. So it does make plenty of sense here for Serral. Maybe there's a way for HateMe to look to abuse that in some way. Opening gasless would be wild. That'd be crazy, but you gotta do something crazy against Serral, right?
Nah, surely that's too much.
I agree. Oh god, but yeah, we shall see here as again HateMe is going to be deliberating what he wants to do on this map. Oh boy, again, Platinum Heroes, rookie start, but if they're able to take this, then 1-1s across the board wouldn't be too bad.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think it is. If HateMe is going to pop off anytime, now's the time to do it. This is a pretty big game for them. I mean, pretty tough first draw for the upper bracket, and we do have that lower bracket to fall down to, but I'm sure they would love to get this win on the board.
Oh yeah, especially this player here in the bottom right hand corner for Platinum Heroes. It is HateMe.
And in the top left hand corner for Basilisk, this is Serral.
And as we can see, drones are indeed being built, so no early pool shenanigans whatsoever from either player. Momentarily, we will be finding out if Serral once again goes for a spawning pool first, which would make sense. But we'll see if he's feeling a little bit more spicy as the drone does go down to the low ground.
Yeah, there we go. So it looks like both players are going to be going for a hatch first here. So we are going to be having some, standard respectful ZBZ, very polite, gentlemanly Zerg things.
There is no respectful ZBZ, Buppy. I mean, maybe only in EU. I'm jaded by the NA lab.
I'm just I'm thinking about like a like a Tarantino movie where before they have the insane fight where everyone gets murdered, they kind of have like a nice polite conversation and they're just chatting and it's all very awkward. They're standing together in the living room and it's like, would you like a snack? And he's like, no, I don't think I'll be needing a snack. And they kind of get all the pleasantries out of the way and they're like, okay, now we kill each other. And then just a huge mess happens.
Yeah, it's very Kill Bill-esque, guys. Oh, we do have a zoom on the lovely Moopies, his nice house as well. Beautiful. I didn't even know that was there.
What?
The Moopie.
What do you say? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we're having a proxy hatch. Yeah, I'm down with it. I'm super down with it.
Let's go, Poppy. Let's go. In the Tarantino movie, they're serving each other drinks, but he's got like a machine gun, as a leg. This is it.
That is in a Tarantino movie, actually.
That's
kind
of, yeah.
The Grindhouse one.
It's Planet Terra, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, that's
Like
that's
the prosthetic leg. That's a gun.
excuse me, that's produced by Tarantino. That's actually directed by Robert Rodriguez. Thank you very much.
Why do you know that?
I know by Robert Rodriguez movies, okay, and Tarantino.
Who's Robert Rodriguez?
He's the guy. He's the guy who did Spy Kids. He was the director of Spy Kids.
What?
Yeah.
He did Planet Terror? Oh
Yeah.
no!
And he also did the vampire movie with the guy
Van Helsing?
no, from Dusk Till Dawn. That's it. Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
Okay.
Okay, you're stressing me out here.
Anyway, of course, HateMe doing something crazy. Likewise, Serral sending a drone across the map. I don't know if that's intentional, but HateMe does have a proxy hatch out there. Is going to be faking out a two-base all-in.
It's just not.
He's human.
It's a mistake from Serral. What's going on?
Oh my god. Is it actually Serral? Or is it Raina?
Is it Roddy?
Is Roddy, is no one available and Roddy's playing every single game? Is that what's happening?
Just Roddy wearing his Serral hat. He's got his golf shirt on.
Let's go, puppy. Let's go. As of course, we are going to be droning from here again. For all Serral knows, again, HateMe is going for a two-base all-in, and I like this because this is actually forcing Serral to delay his own third. He's actually responding with two bases of his own, delaying his third by quite a bit, finally throwing it down.
Yeah, wow. So HateMe will be able to get a small advantage out of that. As I'm really distracted by Spy Kids. I want to watch Spy Kids now.
That movie, yeah.
I just remember it being like, I mean, this is the crazy thing about it is like, even when I was a kid, that movie was like a fever dream. It was so weird.
It was so weird, but like, it was the thing of the era, you know, like all the kids watched Spy Kid.
Well, like,
it was
only because it was like the 3D movie.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that. The changeling. No, Spy Kid wasn't 3D. It was Spy Kid 3 was 3D. Spy Kid 3D.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I remember that one. I just remember really goofy stuff being shot out of the screen, but.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, the third Spy Kid.
I did see the other
one.
ones.
Yeah. Yeah, I believe you.
I mean, were any of them good?
The first one was good. It was good.
Is
it? Was
it?
Good, yeah. I mean,
I just remember there being like thumb people.
There were thumb people. There were thumb people. You're not wrong. It was you know, it was good for a children's movie, you know.
Oh,
yeah.
I want to get a thumb person and put your headphones on them.
Excuse me.
Like an emo, just get one of those thumb people and then put the white headphones on them. I want to make thumb light.
Why? Where's this coming from?
It's just so cursed. It sounds fantastic.
As we do see, the proxy hatch has been scouted by Serral, and he is going to be abusing that. 9 drones go down. It's a bit of a long road to reinforce and to defend. So, HateMe, that economic lead that he once had is no longer there.
Yeah, he gets caught badly out of position. I mean, it's pretty hard not to be when you don't have creep connecting the bases, though.
Yeah, pretty much. As 9 drones are going to be going down. Before that happens, HateMe was able to kind of take advantage and reap the rewards of that base for quite some time, and now he does have a bit of a supply lead, but only a little bit, and that supply lead is going to be long gone momentarily here as the defender's advantage is going to be kicking in.
That's so sad that changeling just spends its entire life on that ledge, and then it just dies.
Yeah. Well, does the changeling have sentience? Like, what is the changeling?
I mean, do any of the Zergs have sentience?
Excuse me?
I don't know. I think we kind of talked about this today when I was playing Diablo, but I'm just not a lore person. Story does not stick in my head. My attention spans are way too low. Sentience.
Sentience, yes.
Sentence.
Yes. The sentence is alive. And,
are Zergs sentient? Or they're a hive mind, aren't they?
Yeah, they are a hive mind, yeah. But they also have, like, independent thought. I'm pretty sure. Or at least the brood mothers do.
We're not brainwashed. We have independent thought. Copium.
Oh my god, here we go. As HateMe is going to be rotating over here towards trying to find a way in towards the third base, but so far Serral has been able to keep up with all the rotations. Serral splitting off only a handful of roaches, and again, that third base is not going to be able to mine at all.
Yeah, that 3 roach little run by was very effective. Focused down quite a few drones there and was able to get a lot of damage. And HateMe down to 13 less workers than Serral. And Serral, yeah, he's going to jump on top of this while those Ravagers are being morphed in. Not quite going to be able to get the kills on those, but he's just buying himself so much time. And once again, delays the upgrades. I saw him do that in the last game as well. That's really nice little touch there.
Not a lot of people do it, but you know what? Contamination is amazing, especially in these scenarios. You do see there HateMe pushing on forward. He has a little bit of momentum. He's trying to break in towards the third base, but here come the reinforcements, and Serral is pushing HateMe back.
Yeah, Serral pushing up right against HateMe for body warmth. He likes it.
And GG gets called. Serral will take the 2-0 for Team Basilisk.
Some people have like a little song as well, don't they?
A little song?
Yeah, they have a song, if I remember right. Like a theme song almost.
Are you still talking about Spy Kids? What are you...
Yeah.
What? Oh, you talk... You need to explain yourself.
Some henchmen have like a song that they sing.
I understand what you're saying, but you're wrong.
Okay.
Like I know what you're talking about. It's not the thumb people cannot speak because they're all thumbs. They have no face. They have no mouths. They have no vocal cords. But the guy who had the thumb henchman, he had a children's TV show, and in the children's TV show, he had a theme song. Yes, that he would perform in, and the thumbs would be like dancing in the background.
Okay.
We need to... Asher, can we watch Spy Kids together? That'd be amazing.
We need to recreate it. We still have to watch, what are we going to watch? Fast and Furious?
Nightmare Before Christmas.
I can watch that anytime.
Are we watching the Fast and the Furious?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. I haven't seen any of them. I want to watch all of them, start to finish.
I've only seen the first three. The original trilogy before they went crazy with it.
Okay.
Which
first three... Tokyo Drift?
Yeah, that's the third movie.
Okay.
No. Have you seen that one?
I want to watch that one. No, but I want to.
Okay.
Can we just watch that one?
Well, the first 3 movies are actually kind of about car racing, and then after that, I haven't seen any of them. But that's when you've got like The Rock like flexing off his arm cast and like steering a missile into with his arm into like into the moon.
Oh,
yeah, it gets crazy.
That is crazy. Seems irresponsible.
As we're getting ready for our third series here, it is going to be that PvP that we were talking about. Trigger is going to be going up against DNS.
Yeah, cool. So this is going to be DNS. I don't know if I'd say the old guard, but a player that has been around for a little bit longer. Definitely a player that has a bit more experience, I would say, than Trigger. And Trigger is probably one of the most exciting up-and-coming prospects in StarCraft, period, right now.
Oh, yeah.
He is making leaps and bounds and starting to look like he can be a real contender for that very top level. And it's been a very exciting player to keep our eyes on.
100%. Whenever I watch Trigger, I know I get excited. There's a lot of hype around Trigger. He's the rising star in the North American scene. He's that young blood who really has only been competing for the past couple of years. I remember his first year of competing was 2021, I want to say. I remember 2020 was Patty Mac's year, and then 2021 was Trigger. And since then, he has just done so well for himself, just establishing himself as one of the best players in North America. Up there with the likes of Estrella, with the likes of Neeb, sometimes even greater than them as well. So he's got a lot of potential as a player. It's great that he's being supported by Basilisk, and he has been supported by them the longest. He is kind of the OG of the team. So yeah, a little hype around him and a mountain to overcome here for DNS.
Yeah, definitely a big investment for the Basilisk to go for a player up and coming like Trigger, but a very wise investment as well. And yeah, I'm surprised you get excited to watch him, because normally when I watch him, he's killing Scarlet horribly with some kind of crazy all-in.
Well, I'm kind of conflicted. So Trigger, he's like my half son, you know. I think for
Yeah, one of your half sons.
Yeah.
Everyone's your half son.
You know,
you lay claim to a lot of people. Like.
It's true. It's very true. It's very true. But Trigger was actually pretty close. I don't mind telling the story. I think I've said it before. He was pretty close to joining the CranKy Ducklings. Trigger, it was one of those players that we saw really early on, and we saw him kind of rise up in the online weekly tournaments, just like Patty Mac. So the two of them we had our eye on for a long time. And I remember we were in talks at one point. This was before Basilisk, of course. This was pre, I think, Team Super as well. But then, if you remember, Team Super picked up Patty Mac and Trigger and a bunch of other players. So it's like, oh, okay. Like, yeah. At the time, at least, Team Super, you know, had the cash to spend to pick everyone up. for a couple of months, I guess. So yeah, we got a lot of love.
That's like me with my FIFA team. I'm like, oh, I got all this money. I'm getting Messi for a month, man. Let's go.
That's exactly what happened. They got Trigger for a month, and then everything imploded because they didn't look at any kind of longevity for their team. Oh god. So yeah, we got a lot of love here for Trigger, definitely. Meanwhile, DNS is one of those players that has been at the, you know, a part of the top 32 in Europe for a long time, as you were saying, but has been a little bit quiet in recent times. And that can be both a good thing or a bad thing, right? He's quiet. We haven't seen him compete in too much, but maybe he like with that animosity, he's able to, or sorry, animosity? I don't think that's the right word. But with that anonymity, there we go. Anonymity, maybe he's going to be able to come out here. There's less information out on him, so he can come out with something a little bit special, a little bit different to catch Trigger off guard.
The animosity with Trigger. He's just been in the shadows, just brooding.
He hates it. He hates it.
This is a grudge match, I've decided.
True. Oh my god. They go way back, actually. They go way back. Oh boy. What happened?
Oh.
Trigger took his thumbs.
Not his thumbs. You see what happened before? DNS's thumbs, they had mouths, they could talk. And then Trigger, he took that away.
Took it away. He took away his song.
So now DNS, he has to fight for those who can't fight for themselves.
I thought you forgot the plot of Spy Kids.
It's a StarCraft 2 match.
Yeah, it's the origin story of DNS and Trigger, mate. Like that's what it's all about, and that's what we're about to witness, mate. How
much MMR do you reckon you'd lose if you played StarCraft with only your thumbs?
Like, only your thumbs.
You can only click the mouse and click the keyboard with your thumbs.
That sounds like a Fear Dragon way to play, you know? I mean, he was streaming a couple of days ago with the voice commands, and I think he got to plat. I think he got to plat with it. It's he's playing with voice commands, and also he's moving the mouse with his eyes. He's got eye tracker enabled. Yeah.
Is he playing Protoss?
Yeah, of course.
Why isn't he Grandmaster?
Why is he? Yeah, what's happening?
Yeah, does it not work? Is it glitched?
Oh, Smurge, Papi Smurge. Oh my god. You know, he's getting there. He's doing the whole like bronze to GM thing, you know? Like there's a lot of everyone's on that hype train, so you know, he wants to make it a little bit longer. He wants more streams, you know?
When's the thumbs only to GM? We'll
figure it out. We'll figure it out. yeah, we're just getting ready here for our last series. You know, players are just preparing themselves for Royal Blood. What do you want to see out of this PvP? We already saw some crazy stuff out of Roddy. What else you want to see?
I'm still thinking about weird challenges. I just remember when we played 2v2 without keyboard. That was horrible.
Oh, that was actually painful.
Actually,
that
really
was
bad. It's
yeah,
so much
that was
worse than I thought it would be.
Yeah, it's because your brain, everything about being in a StarCraft game is like you want to touch the board. You know, you want to touch it, Poppy, and every time you reach for it, your brain says no, and you got to pull back, and it's just so your brain is like conflicted the entire time you're playing with mouse only. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's all muscle memory. You're like short circuiting. You're not thinking like I need to get my racks. You just like press it, and it's not there. The keyboard's gone.
Yeah, 100%. Like making units with the mouse is so. It's just so unnatural, you know?
Not that you have hotkeys. What do I want to see from Trigger? I really liked seeing... I think he was only doing it in PvZ, but he was doing these weird all-ins where he just kind of had like a bit of everything. Like he had a few Zealots, a few Sentries, a few Robo units, War Prism to juggle it all. He just has... I don't know. He has a weird approach, or not a weird approach to the game, but he has this vision for openings that I think is quite rare, where he can find these attacks in places where they don't normally happen.
Yeah, it's almost like he's like seeing in 3D, you know? He's got the glasses, he's got the he's got the magenta, he's got the cyan lenses, and he can just see what we can't. It's crazy. It's actually crazy.
Do you remember the did you ever watch the Wild Thornberrys movie where you got like a scratch and sniff as like part of going to the movie somehow?
Oh, I watched it, but I watched it after it came out in home release. I didn't watch it in the movies.
Okay. Because there was like the whole gimmick where there's the 3D glasses, and that was like a whole thing where you go to the movies and you go to 3D glasses.
Yeah.
But then there was like some movies where you got a scratch and sniff. I don't really know why, but it was very 2000s.
Yeah. The 4D movies were a thing for a while, and I knew that they were a big thing for like IMAX as well. You know, when like they've got the chairs that like shake and move and stuff.
Oh, those were great.
Yeah, it was crazy. It's like you're on a roller coaster ride, and you'd be terrified for your life. Especially on IMAX, because like IMAX is like it's like a cliff face, you know, already. Like when you walk into, I don't know if you watched IMAX. Yeah.
There's an already here as well. It's not as good. We have one.
Yeah.
You know what is the most Melbourne thing ever? Is we have an IMAX as well, but outside the IMAX is like one of the most popular skate spots. Like the museum area is like this big open paved area, and it's a very, very popular skate spot. I just think that's the most like Melbourne versus Sydney thing, where like Sydney has like the way better cinema, but Melbourne has like cool kids hanging out in front of the cinema.
Yeah, that makes sense to me in my mind. As we have our game, and in the top right hand corner representing Platinum Heroes, it's DNS.
And in the bottom left hand corner for Basilisk, this is a Trigger.
We can resume our conversation about 3D glasses later.
Okay. Did you ever like pop out the lenses and wear the glasses? I remember
we've had this we've had this conversation before. You asked me that exact thing, and I told you that I would just wear the glasses. I wouldn't pop out the lenses. I just wear them.
Oh no.
So I could see everything in 3D, Poppy. I could see it all.
Take your lunch money, like.
Oh my god, it's amazing.
Didn't you get like dizzy? I feel like it messes with your depth perception. No.
I don't know. I didn't wear the multicolored ones. Later on.
You had the high tech ones.
Yeah, well, the ones that look like what I'm wearing now, basically. You know how like in recent. When I say recently,
are you wearing them now?
I'm wearing 3D glasses right now. What do you mean?
Are you watching StarCraft in 3D?
I am. But like, do you remember in like the like 2010 era, 2010 onwards, like 3D glasses are like this, right?
Is that why you're always shouting? Because everything's flying up out of the screen.
It's scary.
Ah,
It's like Abyssal Reef, but everything's just flying at my
every map.
face. Yeah. Oh my god. I recommend it. Actually, you should try it.
Okay.
You're going to. You went to. You got
I
your
will,
eye
yeah.
appointment. Yeah.
I went to get some 3D glasses.
Let's go.
I went to Specsavers, literally.
Are you getting your glasses? Have you picked out your frames?
Yeah, I picked out my frames. I actually I keep forgetting. I don't know how I'm gonna get the glasses.
What?
Well, I didn't ask. I just kind of walked out of the store after I got my frames.
You're like, they took my money, and I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I picked out the frames and they took my money and I just got confused, so I left. So I don't know if they're like getting mailed to me or I have to go pick them up at some stage or.
Did you give them at least like your contact? Do they have your contact information?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
I figure they'll get them to me somehow.
Just yeah, you just walked out of the store and you know it's fine. Don't worry about
Well,
it.
it takes time, right? Like they have to
Yeah,
get the right lenses and like
they
I have
grind
to
the
do, like,
lenses.
a montage where they like build it.
Yeah. They like ram the lenses into the frames and
There's like a guy with like an anvil and a hammer and it's like boom, and there's like sparks flying everywhere.
They should call you when it's ready to be picked up.
All right, I'll keep you updated.
As long as you gave them your contact information. I don't know if you did, but
I think so.
yeah, he'll be fine. As we do see DNS rushing across the map, of course, with his stalkers, he did go for a regular 2-gate opener, but with double stalk, well, actually after warping in a second wave of stalkers, he's gonna be able to pick off a stalker.
Okay, so we are going to be trading out those stalkers, and there we go. We do have that hallucination scout getting in. He's going to be able to see the oracle that is on the way, and it looks like Trigger going to be going for blink instead. So yeah, Trigger definitely. I do see him go for Twilight Council pretty often in most matchups. That was a kill, not a cancel on that battery though.
Yeah, very nicely done here by DNS. Of course, we had relatively similar openers. Of course, DNS going for the Stargate opener instead. Dips in with his oracle. We'll get 2 probes. But oh my god, no!
Trigger's control is insane. The way that was kind of subtle, but the way that he used those stalkers where he didn't really miss a shot on any of them fighting on 2 fronts at the same time, that was mental.
That was actually insane. And thankfully, DNS does get out of there with his oracle, and he's going to be able to keep it alive for that one-shot potential. But this has all been scouted. This has all been spotted. Trigger should be able to peel off a couple of stalkers and keep them in position. And there we go. He has one in position to focus down that weakened oracle.
Yeah, quick pull as well. And the oracle going to be going down. So nice focus fire coming out from the stalkers of Trigger. DNS actually, unfortunately, stopping a little bit with that oracle. So a little bit of a mishap with that micro. They're going to be taking a bit more damage on that oracle than he needs to. And Trigger with that blink finishing out, he is going to be going across the map now.
Yeah, he's going to be sending it across the map here. He's going to have high ground vision because he has a sentry, which means he has the ability to hallucinate and go all the way into the main base. So DNS has to be careful here. What does he have back at home?
Like just a few stalkers for now. He's got his own blinks starting to finish up now. Does he have a battery? Doesn't look like there's a battery here. That sentry for Trigger as well, so that's going to be taking a little bit of damage, a little bit of sting out of these stalkers. It looks like Trigger actually starting to win this fight here. Really nice blink micro as well, and he's starting to overwhelm the stalkers of DNS.
Parting, is that you? Oh my god, we do see once again Trigger just out-microing, out-controlling his opponent. He's able to overwhelm the stalkers of DNS. He breaks into the natural base. The Observer, even he's hyped.
Yeah, he likes it. He gives us a bit of a for yo.
Oh my god. And with that, the boys are being pulled. 5 probes go down. We do have a safe strap across them, but it may not even matter because so many probes are falling here for DNS.
Yeah, pretty big stasis trap, but this is a pressing issue right here as these stalkers starting to regenerate the shields as well. There is going to be a warp in here for DNS, and I do believe his blink is finished up, so he can chase this, and exactly what he's going to do and take out a few more stalkers. Oh, Trigger was not expecting blink to be finished so soon.
Oh, yeah, he wasn't expecting DNS to chase him out on the map. So Trigger is going to be, losing a couple of stalkers here a little bit needlessly, but regardless, he already out-traded his opponent. He's already ahead almost 20 probes.
Oh, and he has a third. I missed that.
Yeah.
He has a third up and running. So Trigger is miles ahead here.
Yeah, he threw down the third as he was pushing across the map, and I didn't have faith in the push. I was like, mate, there's no proxy gateway, there's no prism here. We can't really reinforce. I'm really gonna keep pushing, and yeah, we did, and yeah, it worked.
Yeah, but this is starting to get a little bit scary for him. He is losing a lot of these stalkers before the warping can come through. He's going to be moving a few more stalkers down from the main where they were helping with that Oracle. Looks like he will be replacing those, so the Oracle not going to get too much more damage done.
Yeah, exactly. Oracle is going to be kept here in the bottom left-hand corner of the map. We do see DNS did have a gateway advantage, and that's why he has so many more stalkers, but 2 gates are on the horizon here for Trigger. He also has an Immortal to help out with his lack of stalkers, and he is going to be able to force this back.
Yeah, the Immortal just makes so much sense here. It's going to make up for, as you were saying, the lack of units, the lack of firepower here, and all he really needs to do is survive. A little bit of an overextension up the ramp there. I guess he didn't really know about the proxy gateway, but the important thing is he doesn't lose the Immortal.
Yeah, the Immortal survives. The gateways will finish up, and now Trigger can warp in 4 Stalkers at a time, which is more than enough to hold on. He still has a shield battery. He still has an overcharge as well. DNS is going to try and force his way up this ramp to pick up what he can. He gets a couple of Zealots. He can't get much else.
Yeah, that's right. And we do have those extra Stalker warp in, so that economy of Trigger starting to really kick in and pay dividends. He is getting extra gateways, getting the Forge up for the upgrades as well. And I mean, DNS economically is just so far behind in this game, despite being, you know, a tiny bit ahead on the gateways and on charge.
Yeah, I mean, he does have that charge on the horizon, as you were saying, but if we do see DNS losing this army, then that is going to trigger a massive counterattack. Meanwhile, nice moves there by Trigger.
Mate, these young people in their eyes.
Oh, they don't need the 3D glasses, but
they don't need them.
Yeah,
they were born in 3D.
Oh my god!
3D contact lenses.
Oh, built in, Poppy, built in. And with that, Trigger can now rest easy. He can move out across the map. We have 3 Immortals for Trigger. He's got his blink. He's got +1 on the horizon as well. And now it's going to be DNS on the back foot.
Yeah, that is a hell of a lot of firepower barreling down on this third. And I'm not sure if DNS even has shield battery set up. It looks like he is starting to warp some in, but I mean, 1 shield battery is not going to be enough to deal with an Immortal. There we go. He does get the scout with the Oracle, so should be all stations go back at home trying to get that defense up and running.
I like how the way you phrased it sounded as if the Oracle had like gotten a revelation of, but no, like face check.
No.
Yeah. but he did scout the army. He's fully aware of its position. Yeah. It's true. As Trigger's pushing forward, we have enough of warp-ins available for a run-by as well. Zealots do get in towards the natural base. We do have a lot of Zealots available for DNS, and with these Zealots, he's going to be able to trade quite efficiently.
Oh boy. He is, and he does take out the Immortal, and it's getting a lot of damage on these Stalkers. He's forcing some nice Blink Stalker Micro out of Trigger here, but Trigger going to be jumping on top. Oh, we have a little bit of accidental pause, and Trigger going to be taking that one down and confirming the win here for Basilisk.
Oh, GG, well played. Trigger will take the first game here against DNS. Relatively standard openers, you know, that's why we were on a tirade about 3D glasses for no reason. Standard openers overall there, but Trigger had some fancy moves, and in a standard game, Trigger is the favorite for a reason, not just with his blink control, but with his positioning, with his map awareness as well. It was crazy.
Yeah, it really was. It was just really well played by Trigger. Very clean game coming out from him, and he just looked very confident with the micro as well. I mean, it did look like he was the stronger player in that game at least, and I think DNS might have to go for something a little bit more aggressive if he wants to take game 2.
Definitely. That's kind of what we expected, and maybe it's too expected. That's why DNS didn't go for it in game number 1, but here in game 2, like, he's got to do something out of the norm. We aren't necessarily saying that he has to initially proxy or go for a 1-base all-in. There is a lot of flexibility here in PvP. There's a lot at your disposal, so I guess we're gonna have to wait and see what DNS decides to do in game 2.
Cannon rush.
I mean, who was it? Was it Eba that said that he cannon rushes other Protoss players?
Eba.
Am I confusing it with someone else?
Maybe I just erase that from my memory for his own benefit.
Maybe. That would make sense. DNS, of course, still needs to, he still needs to pick his map. It is going to be his map of choice available for game number 2, so he at least has that ready, and I'm sure he has something special prepared for that as well. But you kind of mentioned it earlier. I think because of the way this series has turned out, even if DNS does win this game, I believe Team Basilisk will still take the series.
Yeah, they are up 3-1, so it looks like they have that series on lock here. As we are going to be having Ancient Cistern for the second map. So DNS looking for a little bit of a bigger map. Okay.
12 pool?
Yeah, 12. Yeah. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Let's go, Poppy. Let's go. Oh my god. Yeah, Ancient Cistern, as you were saying, a very large map, a lot of room, a lot of areas to try and go for a proxy as well if you so choose. So yeah, we'll see what DNS has in store for Trigger. If it's going to be to try and hide something cheeky or just for more room to macro instead.
Or for a 12.
Oh. I wouldn't be opposed to that. I'll be honest. I wouldn't be opposed to it. Mate,
Fair enough.
Look, I'm just saying, we casted Trigger versus Eba 2 days ago. All right, look, I'm just saying. Something crazy like that could have,
as the Protoss player, gone for a 12 pool.
It's true.
I see what you're saying, though.
Yeah. Your eyes are open.
Yeah.
My words are coming at you.
In 3D. Coming out of the screen. As here we go in the bottom left-hand corner of the map, it is the French Protoss. In the blue, it is for Platinum Heroes and DNS.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Ancient Cistern, we have his opponent, the Canadian Protoss, Trigger. Hypergriff?
What?
Hypergriff.
Oh. Yeah, sure.
Okay. I wonder what the hell that is. Apparently they're the chief sponsor. Because I was trying to figure out what the graphic was, but yeah, shout out to the Hypergriffs out there.
Oh, they're a game developer.
Oh wait, are they the anime waifu mobile game developer? Is that them?
They make a game called Arc Knights. Yeah, this looks like waifus.
Yeah, let's go. So for those who don't know, it was recently announced, I think yesterday or a couple of hours ago. I think it was yesterday. There is a new chief sponsor here for the World Team League. Oh, there they are. We have our Doyus, the old reliable Doyu. We got TGI Fridays, but we got some new sponsors. We have Hypergriff, which are anime waifus, as well as Rio. So, of course, the winners of this league, you get a bit of a vacation. Over to Rio.
This game looks very addictive.
Oh.
Stay away, puppy.
Is it a gacha game?
Yeah, I don't know what that means, but yes.
It's a gacha, puppy. I'm looking this up.
It looks like a tactics game as well. I love tactics games. I put a screenshot in the live feed.
Yeah, I'm getting some like Bravely Default vibes here. Let's go. This is I
used to play a bit of Final Fantasy Tactics. That was a banger.
Yeah, Final Fantasy Tactics. Yeah, let's go. Oh, this is not what I was looking at, but okay.
Oh, okay. What are you looking at?
Don't worry about it.
Oh.
So good.
All right. Well, we do have a proxy pylon here for DNS. Yet to see if he's going to be doing anything with it. He's going to see those first two stalkers coming out for Trigger here. So that's probably not exactly what you want to see here. I think you generally prefer to see adepts when you're going for something aggressive like this. Although he does have a sentry. I didn't see that.
Yeah, there's a lot going on right now. So Trigger is going for some one-base play. We have a third gateway on the way and a Twilight Council with Blink. Meanwhile, DNS, despite having the proxy pylon out there, is going for a 2-gate expand.
Yay. It's revealing the logos, of course.
Yeah.
And it looks like, he's going to be going for his own proxy. I think the funny thing about this is if DNS does choose to use that proxy pylon, I don't know if he was just hiding that pylon just as a mind game, but if he is planning to add something to that pylon, he's probably going to walk past the proxy of Trigger. But either way, he does get this hallucination scout in, and he's going to be seeing the extra gateway, so he's going to know that something aggressive is coming. This is a really nicely placed battery here. I love this. It won't be depowered if the low ground pylon's taken out either.
Yeah, meanwhile, Trigger, I don't know if you noticed, but he has a 4th gateway out on the map. So this is a 1-base, 4-gate Blink Stalker build from Trigger. DNS responds with a defensive Robo, which is very smart. It's what we want to be seeing. He is going to be making some Immortals defensively back at home. But before that happens, Trigger is going to have a window here where he's going to have a mass amount of Stalkers.
Yeah, we have a lot of Stalkers here, and they are going to be running on down, trying to start getting some damage going. I mean, DNS, he is pretty well positioned defensively. He has that Robo finishing up now as well, so he will be able to chrono out an Immortal, and that's going to be pretty key to his defense here. And, I love this.
I love that we don't just hallucinate the Stalkers, we bring them forward as well. So again, the goal here is to make sure that they tank some of these Stalker shots. It's going to be crucial in the defense. The shield batteries are finishing up just in time. We will have an overcharge. Oh, he knows! How? Oh, no, it doesn't know, but...
I don't know.
He kind of knows, or he's gambling a little bit as the Stalkers are getting 1 shot, they're getting 2 shot as well, and despite the overcharge, it doesn't even matter.
Yeah, brutal stuff coming out. He just waits till he has enough of those Stalkers for that 1-shot potential. He's going to be respecting the Immortal as well, so just backs off, doesn't want to fight up into the high ground against that, and he's going to take whatever damage is available to him. We're going to be having one of those batteries depowered, and there we go. He's just going to be charging straight on through, getting on top of the Immortal. Immortal goes down, and that might just be the end of this defense.
Exactly. Trigger, his blink control was just a little bit too damn good. The boys are being pulled, but we only have a single Stalker remaining for DNS. He has another Immortal on the way, but it's still only halfway done, and that is not going to be fast enough.
Yeah, very tidy micro coming out from Trigger. Is going to be losing 1 Stalker, but I think that's going to be just about it as the Robo is depowered, and GG, Trigger takes down a convincing game, and Basilisk is going to be winning 5-1.
GG, well played. Team Basilisk does do it. 2-0 by Trigger, by Serral, and even old mate Roddy doing one for the team and taking game off of his son. No, just beating him down a little bit, making sure that he knows who birthed him.
Man, Raynor's going to be sweating. I mean, his spot, it's in a bit of trouble.
Yo, yeah, do we even need Raynor? Like, can we save some money? Can we...
Yeah, he's going to call up and he's going to be like, hey, do you guys need me this week? And they'll just be like, no. You just go back, go play League of Legends. You know, you made your choice. You chose your game. We don't need you.
Aye. So, again, GG, congratulations to Team Basilisk. They're going to be moving on to the next round. Still, Code A is a very long format. It's a very long process, and we still have plenty more matches to go to find out who makes it into Code S. We are going to be going on a short break. When we return, we will have our second series of the night. It is going to be Invictus Gaming going up against Mystery Gaming.
Ooh, it's going to be a banger. So see you soon for that one.